Hello, welcome to Travel Tales. I'm Judith, and I share stories and tips from my lifelong experiences of journeying. This morning, I learned a new word. It's dromomania. And I'll bet that if you look it up in the dictionary, it'll have a picture of me next to that word. Dromomania is a condition that is the irresistible urge to travel. And I have had that condition since I was about 8 years old when I accompanied my parents to England to visit my father's relatives. And since then, I have traveled extensively. I have traveled alone. I have traveled with friends. I have traveled with one person. I've been in different locations in different ways. And so hopefully there'll be a good variety here of stories that I have to share with you. This is episode 1. So, a number of years ago, I had just arrived in Salamanca in Spain. I had traveled there that day from Madrid. I was very tired. I had a sore foot, and I just wanted paella for dinner. As you're probably aware, paella is practically the national dish of Spain. It's rice, chorizo, saffron, seafood, long list of ingredients. And I'd already been in Spain a week and had not had any paella, so that's what I wanted. I found a restaurant just outside of my hotel, and that hotel is another story for another time, that had a sign out in front that said paella. So I thought, okay, this is good. And the restaurant opened at 9 o'clock. Now, in Spain, dinner is served in restaurants from 9 usually, but people don't go out to eat till 10 or 11. And that doesn't work well with me. I don't like to go to bed on a full stomach. I like to eat earlier. Well, not earlier than 9, but that was my option. So I went in the restaurant, sat down, waiter came over, and I said, paella, por favor. And he said, oh, señora, paella is only for 2 people. We only cook paella for 2 people. So I was really dejected. And when you're really tired and you're just beat, you have your heart set on something, it felt like, the world had just collapsed. So I sat there looking at the menu, trying to figure out what else was appealing to me. When in the door walks a young Japanese man, sits down a few tables away from me. The waiter went over to him, and the man says, paella. So I motioned him over. He came over. We ordered paella for 2, and that was fine. Now, this young man spoke limited Spanish, limited English, and I spoke Spanish, but no Japanese. But we were managing as people do, as strangers do, in countries where you meet somebody and you sit down for a drink or a meal and you make it work. You make it work through gestures and pictures and photos and whatever you have. And it's amazing how much communication can happen. So about halfway through the dinner, I asked him, so where are you from? And he says, oh, I'm from Hiroshima. And I just froze. For those of you who aren't real up on World War II history, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima in World War II, killing hundreds of thousands of people. And I didn't want to sit there the rest of the dinner with him knowing that I was from that country. So I smiled at him and I looked him right in the eye and I said, I'm from Canada. And we went on with our meal. Now, that's a small story, but it's one of those happenings where you have something totally unexpected happen. You're totally unprepared for that kind of response to a question like that. And that stays in your mind forever on how you were put in that very strange, uncomfortable situation and how you got out of it. Anyway, so this is episode 1 of Travel Tales with Judith. This is new to me, and with practice, I hope to, get a little bit smoother and better in my communication with you. I hope also that at some point, you will comment and make suggestions and ask me questions, and we can have a little bit of a back and forth. But as for right now, thank you very much for tuning in to Travel Tales with Judith.